So what if Randy Moss never left the Minnesota Vikings? What if everything worked out in Minnesota? There's no trade to the Raiders. There's no winding up in New England. None of that happens. There is no leaving New England to go back to Minnesota, then to spend a few weekends with the Tennessee Titans, then retire, then end up in San Francisco, play a Super Bowl versus Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, and then call it a career. What if all that never happened? There's no 21, 22, 23 touchdown year reception-wise. There's no perfect regular season with the Patriots. All that is donezo. So this is going to be part one. We are the Minnesota Vikings. Randy Moss is staying. He is staying. I said he is staying right here in Minnesota, all right? In Minnesota, we're going to do what it does, and we're going to get that Super Bowl, right? We're still waiting for that Super Bowl to be in one of the greatest franchises in all the sports, one of the most recognizable franchises in all the sports. Now, I don't see too many like Vikings, logos maybe outside of, this great country of ours. But, you know what I'm saying? The Minnesota Vikings, iconic logo. Everybody knows them. Everybody loves them or hates them. But, hey, we went 9-7. Now, that was good enough to win the division in year number one. Are we the best team? No, we are not. We were the sixth best team in the NFC, but because the North is so sorry in Madden 05, we made it to the playoffs anyway. Dante Culpepper is very, very interesting. 20 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. Now, he's good. He is one of the best quarterbacks in Madden 05. And one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL at this moment in time when this game came out. However, I don't know if he's going to be the right guy to lead us down the road. Now, you got Kerry Collins and Rich Gannon in Oakland. Rich Gannon is most likely closer to retirement than Kerry Collins is. You got a young Eli. You got a young Ben Roethlisberger. You got a young Felipe. You got Drew Brees over there as well. So maybe we make a move at quarterback. I do not know. LaDainian Tomlinson is your MVP, your running back of the year, your offensive player of the year. Ray Lewis is your defensive player of the year. Dansby, he is your outside linebacker, outside extraordinaire. He's just the rookie of the year on defense. I don't know why I'm trying to add on to that. Now, when it came to our roster, offense is solid. Defense probably has more questions, but D-tackle, we're good. Hovan and Williams hoping to apply some pressure to Jake Delhomme, the homie in that Carolina Panthers offense. We got Udeze, he's on one side. We also got Dixon, who had 8 sacks this past season. So we look to be pretty solid moving forward. It's just I do think that quarterback could be a little bit of a question mark. So we get the ball. After we stop him at midfield, we throw it to Robinson, and Robinson is a solid receiver to be the second in command behind Randy Moss, and there goes the big boss doing what he does best, which is catch those footballs. Rolling out, Culpepper going to let that thing fly deep downfield, and Randy's going to haul that thing in. Randy Moss, the big boss, doing his thug fizzle, and then Robinson is in the end zone with a touchdown. So we're up 7-0. Delhomme going to fire that thing to Steve Smith. How did he catch that thing? He caught it with both hands, like Allstate. You're safe in his hands. You're safe in Allstate's hands. However the saying goes, I don't know, but they both got good hands. So they get the football right back after kicking that field goal, and they're right back in field goal range to line up for another one. So we surrender 3 on their first drive, and then we surrender 3 more before the half is up. Now, fourth quarter, same score, 7-6. Delhomme fires it to Moosin, who's a bad man, Mohammed, and he's going to take that thing to the hizzy, and it's 12-7. Now, Delhomme, no, we were player hating on Jake Delhomme, who is still the homie. So the Panthers have a 5-point lead. Dante Culpepper fires that thing. And Wiggins getting busy in the secondary. 36 seconds on the clock. Culpepper looking downfield. Culpepper sets up a beautiful block, and now he's loose inside the 30, steps out of bounds to stop the clock with 28 seconds on that thing. First and 10, Culpepper looking. Culpepper going to take off and run. Culpepper to the 20. Culpepper to the 10, to the 5. Are you serious? Touchdown, Minnesota. Now we went for 2. And we did not get it because 2 would have put us up by 3. So we're only up by 1. Being up by 2 doesn't really matter, obviously. That pass going to be caught by Musa Muhammad. And look at this. The Panthers are in field goal range. What and the Randy Moss is going on. I don't even know if that made sense, but I said it. And the kick is up, and the kick is good, and there will be no skull today. Or will there be? We know Randy Moss is a cheat code. Culpepper going to roll right. He's going to heave that thing down to the 15, and it falls incomplete. And that's going to do it. Our season comes to an end. A screeching halt in the wild card round. The Titans beat the Raiders. The Skins, they fall to the Seahawks, and the Colts are moving on. The Dolphins, they win. The Giants, they lose. The Colts, they beat the Ravens. So you got Colts, Dolphins, Panthers, Seahawks, and it's going to be the Panthers and the Dolphins, with the Dolphins beating the Panthers. Now, this was the year that Ricky Williams decided to stay high and not play football. His choice, his prerogative. But if he would have stayed, look what happens, Ricky. If you would have stayed, your team would have won the Super Bowl. Right? I mean, who knows? It's just Madden. Jimmy Smith is calling the career. Junior, make him say, ow, is going to call the career. Rich Gann is going to call the career. So I think that the Raiders are probably going to hang on to Kerry Collins. That kind of makes sense. So we have 4 guys who are restricted free agents. There's only one guy that really gets my blood boiling, my heart pumping, and making me feel tingly all over, and that is Brian Williams, cornerback, 86 overall, going into year number 4. Rosenthal, he is a great right tackle, so we're going to keep him because we keep great talent here in Minnesota. Left outside linebacker Claiborne, he's going to sign on that dotted line. In Madden, historically, you do not have to spend all of your money to keep guys and create a big team, but I try to make it as realistic for like the re-signing period as I can. So I give everybody the max signing bonus that I can give them, and that eventually catches up to you where you're going to have to make some moves financially to keep things afloat and to build a roster up, meaning cut guys and so on and so forth. Our first pick in the draft, our first pick of this what-if/rebuild is Cook. Free safety. Will he start? I don't know. Brian Jones, receiver, looks to be decent, 94 overall speed. He will be wearing number 80. I apologize, Chris Carter, but he will be rocking that number. I believe it is retired, right? Minnesota Vikings fans, help me out. I believe that number is retired. I am not a football encyclopedia. I used to be, but time and current events and just life gets in the way of knowing everything that happens in the NFL. The first pick in the draft comes out of Temple. You don't see that too often. Temple. With the first pick in the draft going to the Cincinnati Bengals, it was a right end. Middle linebacker going to the Atlanta Falcons at pick number 3. Pick number 4 is a defensive tackle, rocking number 96, Ray Montgomery out of Idaho. Look at Idaho getting some love. Big Ham, left guard, rocking number 72. He's going to be a beast out there for the Dallas Cowboys. Fly, Eagles, fly. They have pick number 6. The Cleveland Browns, pick number 7 is a middle linebacker out of Minnesota. And then pick number 8 with the Eagles, they're going to take a running back out of Washington. So the Eagles are busy in the draft. The Chiefs getting busy with a defensive tackle from Cincinnati. And then the Ohio State University has a free safety going to the Denver Broncos at 75 overall. So the first draft is complete. Scott Player, he's a straight player. Don't hate on him. We are going to sign him. We're going to bring back Brian Russell. We let him test free agency, but he's the best free safety available. I know we just drafted one. But again, in these rebuilds, I try to do what the CPU is going to want me to do so we can make it to the playoffs, so we can get some game plays. You feel me? So yeah, that's what I did there. So we got a first-round pick who's probably going to be on our bench, but we're probably going to, use training camp to get his ratings up. All right? All right. So here goes the rest of free agency. The Giants getting busy in free agency, as you can see right there. After free agency is done, we're going to pick up Terry Jones. He is a tight end. He got some speed, he got some hands, and he helps us to go 5-11 with the Lions in the division. The Bears bring up the booty of the bunch, and the Packers are 10-6 and headed to the postseason. All right, Dante Culpepper, 23 touchdowns, 23 interceptions. I'm not loving that. And again, Dante is one of the best quarterbacks in this game, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But it's just not working out. It really is just not working out, and I really don't understand why it's not working out. Randy Moss, 82 catches, 1,261 yards, 10 TDs, and going back to the Pro Bowl. That's right. Big Randy going to the Pro Bowl. Nate Burleson, I see you. His suit game is immaculate. Nate Burleson is one of the most well-dressed men on TV. regardless of what genre of TV it is. That's a good looking, handsome man, and I am comfortable in my you know what to say that, all right? My wife knows what time it is. Anyways, Clinton Portis is your MVP and your offensive player of the year. Derek Brooks is your defensive player of the year. Welder, halfback, that's a guy from Washington. He is your offensive rookie of the year. And then Montgomery, 96 for the Chicago Bears, is your defensive rookie of the year. We have Marvin Harrison, receiver of the year. Peyton Manning, his quarterback of the year. Clint Portis, obviously, is running back of the year. Derek Brooks is the best linebacker. He's linebacker of the year. Arch Gillette is your best DB. Chris Brown, run it, is your best kicker. And Dick Vermeil is your best coach, okay? Coach of the year. The Texans, they beat the Dolphins. The Eagles fall to the Seahawks. The Colts over the Patriots. And the Packers get beat down by the Giants. The Texans fall to the Ravens. The Giants fall to the Skins. The Colts, they fall to the Chiefs. And the Buccaneers in overtime beat the Seahawks. Ravens, they beat down the Chiefs. And the Skins, they squeak past the Buccaneers to beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Rivalry, I mean, my goodness, the D.C. area might have been set ablaze with that matchup right there. Washington taking on Baltimore. My goodness gracious. So, Jimmy Johnson, not the NASCAR driver. No, is it Jimmy Johnson? No, what's his name? What's his name? Coach Johnson. Is it Jimmy? Is it Jimmy Johnson? Is it? All I know is that he was a great defensive coordinator with the Eagles. I want to say it's Jimmy Johnson. That's the first name that came to mind. He's our new head coach. We got Dick Geron right there as well. Mike Martz is our offensive coordinator. And Tom Rathman is a staple on my channels. I love that fullback, as some fullbacks are retiring. Strong, Richardson, Anderson, and Zach Crockett are calling a career. So is Charlie Garner, Troy Vincent calling a career. Curtis Conway is calling it a career. He's married to Layla Ali. I did not know that. It's not a big deal, but I just didn't know that. Like, congratulations. Hope everything works out. Hopefully y'all still married, because that was a long time ago when I found that out. Anyways, Smith is not going to resign. All those guys who are restricted free agents are not going to resign. We are going to stick with Chavis, though, because we need him to resign. Michael Bennett, come on down. Come get your money. 90 overall, 27 years of age. You know he's sticking around long-term. Brian Williams is now up for a long-term contract, and he's going to get it at 85 overall. And then everybody else, including Jones, is going to see free agency. Williams is going to see free agency as well. Mixon, you have 1 year left on your deal. I expect to see you. So we will trade for Eli Manning. The Giants made it to the playoffs, and Kurt Warner had a fantastic year. So I'm like, maybe y'all willing to let go of Eli, and they are. Culpepper's valued for a C+ for them. He's probably, if I went with like a bad quarterback team, a team that didn't have no quarterbacks, he might be, valued at a B+, B, A-, maybe something like that. I don't know. But to the Giants, he's C+, even though he will be starting over Kurt Warner because he's a higher overall than Kurt Warner. So are we starting back in the dumps now with Eli? Possibly. Eli's only 81 overall. We do get we get a third round pick for him. Our first round pick was a halfback. I really don't know why I went halfback, but clearly he was the best guy available, but we didn't need it that high. So I probably should have traded back. I should have traded back. That's what I should have did. But your mans was not thinking. I was not thinking, to say the least. So now all I do know is that we got Eli, we got Randy Moss, and we got a solid defense. Offense now might be a little bit shaky. We might be just a little bit shaky on the offensive side of the ball because Bennett is not like he's lining up the league. He's not in the same class as a LT or a Clinton Portis right now. We did sign Miller. We did pick up Sheldon Brown. So cornerback is good. Defense, I think we are pretty darn stout on the defensive side of the ball. And I ain't going to lie to you. That's what I like to see here with the Minnesota Vikings, a tough defense. Maybe not quite like the people purple eaters, but I think we're up there. So Eli, 81 overall. Bennett, 90 overall with 98 speed. I'm loving it. The rookie we drafted has 86 overall speed, so that does say something. Maybe we could, split carries with him. Randy Moss, 99 overall with 99 overall speed, but he's 29 years old. So this might be just like a 2-part thing, maybe a 3-part thing, depending on how quickly I can get these out. But yeah, but we got to win one for the big boss, Randy Moss. It's a shame that so many great receivers do not have Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, great ones. Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Megatron, Andre Reed, Tim Brown. Like, none of these guys got Super Bowls, but, like, Keyshawn got one. And it's like, who cares about... he's a human being, so I got love for him just based on that. But, like, Keyshawn got a ring, but nobody else does. Obviously, you got Jay Rice with all of them. And so there's, like, Michael Lever. But Chris Carter didn't have one either. Anyways, man, we make it back to the postseason. This time we're a wild card team at number 6. So again, we're the 6th best team in the NFL. Dante Culpepper, 20 touchdowns, 26 interceptions. I know somebody was mad at me, but look, the proof is in the pudding, okay? Eli, 25 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. Is it that much better? No. There goes Bennett, 1,700 yards. Now you're up there. Now you're up there, Bennett. That's what I'm talking about. We pay him, and he's happy. Maybe it's the Mike Martz offense. I don't know, but we're looking pretty phenomenal right now as a wild card team. Claiborne, 129 tackles, 10 for loss for Udeze. Williams with 10, 12 sacks for Udeze. You feel me? The USC prodigy coming through. Trent Green, is your MVP, and he's probably going to be your offensive player of the year. That's usually how it works. But no, not this time. Clinton Porter's offensive player of the year. With 1,700 yards, Michael Bennett didn't make it to the Pro Bowl. That is highway robbery. London, he is the offensive rookie of the year. Defense rookie of the year goes to Wicks out of the St. Louis Rams camp. Dante Hall. Dante Hall had 30 touchdown receptions. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. I don't know how that happened, but hey, Madden is crazy like that. Bill Belichick is a coach of the year. So next episode, we're going to kick things off with the wild card round. Minnesota Vikings headed to Tampa Bay to take on those Bucks with Lloyd Malloy now a part of that great defense. I'm going to get up out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope that the rest of the day is the best of your day. Peace, love. Hot sauce.